Hello everyone, and before you look at the title and panic, no, don't worry, this is not a video about the election, although it is about voting. Not about voting rights, but about voting choice and how it relates to women and how they are told to vote, what they're told about voting, usually by our friends, feminism. Now hopefully this video won't be too long, so let's just get into this, shall we? Now every 5 years in the UK, or every 4 years in America, or however long it takes in your country to have an election, usually, at least in the West, and at least in the UK and the US, there's always a string of articles made by feminists telling women to go out and vote, to go out and vote for a particular candidate, usually the candidate that they endorse, because, well, one, they've got a vagina, therefore they should vote. The simple fact that they have a vagina and the fact that this person supports the fact that they have a vagina, supports their interests, or rather the feminist interests, is enough for them to vote for them. A kind of sisterhood mentality, you know what they like to talk about, this kind of cult-like mentality where all women have to get together and protect one another, support one another, which is noble on the outside, but when you look at it on the inside, it's a very cult-like religious behaviour where if one woman happens to just step out of line or do some kind of choice that might not be liked by these feminists, well then her choice has affected all women. It's akin to blasphemy, and she should be shamed and harangued for this because she happened to just think outside their box, not out of the box as a whole, but out of their box and what they think she should vote for and what she should do with her life. Because remember, feminism gave them the right to vote, allegedly, not WRAs who went under the name of either the suffragists, who were the moderates and got things done, or the suffragettes, who were the ones who were bombing letterboxes and getting arrested. Yes, people, there is a difference, and we have to remember that. Now, what I don't get is that these women, not only did they fight for the right for women to get the vote, but technically speaking, they also fought for the right for women to abstain from voting. And yet these people are constantly making articles year after year, every time an election comes up, shaming women into voting because, look, these women who you never met, who have been dead for God knows how long, gave you the right to vote, although rather they managed to fight for the right, but it was the governments themselves, made up of largely men, who gave them the right to vote anyway, but that's just a technicality. You'd be staining these women's legacies if you do not vote, or if you do not vote the way that we tell you to, so please, go out and vote, otherwise we will shame you. And I just think that's really annoying, because these women fought for the choice as well as the right. We shouldn't be forcing women to vote, we shouldn't be forcing women to vote for a particular candidate because this particular group, this ideological group, happens to support this particular candidate or this ideology of the party, and I think that's wrong. I mean, we don't tell working class men, who by the way didn't have the vote either during the time that the suffragettes were going out there protesting, we don't tell them to go out and vote because of Peterloo or any other mass riots or protests that happened in their name. No, we don't seem to force them to do anything, but why women in particular, I don't understand. But then again, men's history tends to be ignored because history is not her story, as they like to say. Now, I know what you're saying, if it's compulsory to vote, yep, I get it, but hey, they can spoil their ballot and you still shouldn't force them to vote a particular way. We should refrain from these stupid, guilt-tripping, shaming, whiny articles and rhetoric. We should instead just allow them to have the choice, do what they want to do, and not make them feel bad about it. They can feel bad about it themselves when they've seen the fruits of their choices, not just make them feel bad before they've even made it, because then that's taking choice away from women, that's stopping them from being independent. I mean, apparently we want women to be strong and independent, yet these people are trying to force and dictate to them what they can and cannot do, and I think that's probably where it boils down to. It's a freedom issue for me. Let them do what they want and let them make their own mistakes. We don't need you telling them what they can and cannot do. So anyway, people, I think that's all I've got for today. Just a quick video. The next video will be a response to that mother who kicked her son out as a punishment for this mock election in his elementary school simply for voting Trump. I mean, he's just a little kid. What did he know? Yeah, I know, it's the election, but hey, it's a good video to analyse. So until next time, I'll see you all later.